Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another live stream. Today is Thursday, November 13th. Did everybody survive the storm that's been ongoing for the last 48 hours, basically? The powerful geomagnetic storm stemming from a cannibal CME, followed by yet another CME that swept the Earth last night. Earth is in the middle of a decompression event. As you can see over here on the left, the magnetic shields were completely overwhelmed by the very dense high speed. What's up, AZ Watchwoman? Infinite consciousness. What's up, guys? All sounds. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate that. Sharing part of your day with me. Looking at the magnetopause over here on the left, you can see the activity. This is a simulation of the magnetic shields, and it's normally pretty quiet unless, I'm talking still, unless there's a strong CME that's compressing like you saw right there. Let me zoom in just a little bit if I can. I think I can. Let's go ahead and, yeah, there we go. Okay. Here's what we're dealing with here. This is from the last 24 hours. This was even more dramatic 48 hours ago. But this is the magnetic shield, the magnetopause, and you can see how it was responding to the density of the powerful storm last night and the night before. Here's the ovation prime. That's what this is called. This is basically the aurora. This is another simulator that shows right there. You can see one of the peak moments when the auroras dip down south into the northern hemisphere. And this was a global event. Look over in Norway, Denmark, Sweden. Auroras were visible over there as well. I'm not sure about the southern hemisphere yet. Look at that. That was a huge dip. And there for a while, the IMF, the interplanetary magnetic field, was tilted south. And whenever that tilts south, solar wind just comes in unchallenged. So when you have a high-speed stream of solar wind moving about, 1,000 kilometers per second, things can get pretty radical. And that's what happened last night. The skies once again lit up and put on quite a show if you were up in Canada. Now, people sent me some photos. What was it? This morning I got photos from Indiana. I got photos from Kentucky. Let's see, Indiana and Michigan of some auroras last night spotted in the northern U.S. following the arrival of the third CME, basically. But they weren't quite as profound and dramatic as the night of the 11th into the 12th. I've got some more photos to share with you guys. In fact, I've got 4 folders full of photos that I'm not ready to share yet, but I'm going to share several of those today with you guys. They're just super cool. They are too good not to share. And this was a night that people will never forget. They'll remember this their entire lives because most of us don't get to see auroras. I wanted to show you guys something real quick. First, we're going to look at the South American anomaly. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button. I know sometimes I forget to do that too. When you hit the like button, it just pushes the video out farther. That's all. I'm not trying to win a popularity contest. I'm just trying to get the video to as many people as we can. But you're looking at, this is another graph of the Earth, and this is where the South American anomaly, this is an anomaly in the magnetic field. Okay, this is a weak spot. Now, it makes you wonder, following last night's and the night before, the very dramatic CMEs and powerful proton storms that impacted the Earth and every living creature on the Earth. Everybody's sensitive to that in some way, shape, or form. What's up, Memory Trigger? Good to see everybody here. AZ Watchwoman. AZ Watchwoman is Star Family royalty. She was the very first Star Family member. But anyway, it makes you wonder if this got bigger. Something is causing this to grow. Back in 2014, this is the weak spot in the magnetic shield. It was about half this size. Now it spans from southern Africa all the way up to nearly Ecuador. When it gets to Ecuador, that's at the equator. So this is getting bigger. Common logic would tell you that during strong events like last night, if there is a weak spot in your defense mechanism, basically the magnetic shields, it would probably weaken it just a little bit more. I hope not, but common logic would tell you that, yeah, it probably would. Here's what we saw in central Arizona. Are you serious right now? Yes, I'm serious. Thanks for the like, guys. I see the likes going up over there. Good job. That pushes the video out there farther. It's free. Push that like button, and it actually helps me. I appreciate that. Here we go. Phoenix, Arizona, southeast Phoenix. I took this video with my phone, and looking at the sky, you could just barely see a little bit of rogue movement up in the sky. You could see the vapors, the green vapors, the red vapors. So what I did, I went ahead and filmed it anyway, because trust me, they weren't very visible. I kind of thought they might be there, but when I put my phone up to the sky, like you're seeing right here, I could actually see them in my phone. So I took the video. This is what me, my wife, my son saw this in the sky a couple of nights ago. And you can see the reds and greens. These are still images that I took from the video that you just saw. Obviously, this is heavily juiced, but you can see there was aurora down here in southeast Phoenix. I had to pull it forward, but there it is. Absolutely. I had people send me videos from northwestern Arizona, Tucson. The lowest point that I saw was down in San Felipe, Mexico, which was 31 degree north. We're at the 33 degree north latitude. So Team Alaska, what's going on? Team Alaska in the house. So yeah, 31 degree north. If anybody knows of anybody seeing auroras farther south than that, leave a comment in the comment section. And if you would, leave a comment in the comment section of your location, and if you saw auroras or not in your location. I know most people, if it wasn't cloudy in the 48 states of the United States, saw auroras last night and the night before. 2 nights in a row. And there was a storm. In fact, I'll show you the storm real quick. That's a video out of Manitoba, Canada last night. These are the solar flares. You can see the X5 a little over 72 hours ago. But since then, there hasn't been anything going on. But as you can see over here today, the 13th, solar activity is starting to get cranked up again. So don't be surprised if we see some more activity with regard to solar flares and CMEs in the next 24 hours. Here's a look at the G4, the severe geomagnetic storm. This was just after midnight. Universal time on the 12th, lasted for a good strong 6 hours, spiked again to a G3 last night and continued on for several hours. I received photos from people in Canada who saw an incredible show. Daniel and Tina Long out of Canada sent in some amazing photos. You're looking at the ionosphere D region, and what causes this graph here to light up like this, the top red, orange, and sometimes green, red being the most intense, is this right here. This energy right there is what causes this to behave like that. They go hand in hand. It's like peanut butter and jelly. When that comes towards the Earth, and that is definitely Earth directed, because this satellite that we're looking at is in front of the Earth, in between the Earth and the Sun. This satellite orbits the Sun with the Earth. So if you see particles like that coming at the satellite, they're coming at the Earth, guaranteed 100%, because this satellite is in Earth's orbit. And again, the compression event right there, the magnetopause was compressed very heavily, as you can see here by the graph. This is from the night of the 13th. Let's see where we at here. Yeah, the 13th. I could go back to the 11th and 12th, and we'll take a look at that, but you can see it was all over the place. It is trying right now as I do this video to decompress and get back to normal. But you can even see back here on the backside of the Earth, you can see some backside, what they call backside pressure, like right there. So sometimes there's a little bit of back pressure, and that was one of those times during that very powerful storm. I wanted to share with you guys some of the phenomenal photos. This is a video that was sent in by Shane out of Manitoba, Canada last night during the second round. This was during the G3 geomagnetic storms. But our friends up in Canada, they always have a front row seat to the storm activity, even if it's a G1. They're going to see it way before we do down here in the United States. Donna up in Wild Horse Plains, Montana, couldn't help but notice the obvious here, the green and purple auroras, but she couldn't help but notice she was calling that a dove. Looks like some sort of a bird flapping its wings, or its wings open up in the sky. What an incredible photo. Mia Measy out of Maryland. Auroras dipped way down into Maryland quite strongly, putting on a very impressive show for people in Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, all the way down to South Carolina. Here's another photo, a collection of photos by Daniel and Tina Long out of Saskatchewan, Canada. Look at that sky. Put on a fabulous show last night. These photos are from the 11th, the night of the 11th, and the night of the 12th. 2 nights in a row, they were treated to some of the most amazing skies. And these are things that you just don't forget. You just don't forget. Hey, Team Alaska, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Has the random blinking light reports increased? Team Alaska, I have a video that was sent in. Hold on just a second. I'm giving you a like there. Thank you. I appreciate that. I have a video, I just don't have it queued up, of blinking lights that occurred during the geomagnetic storm. Yes, during the geomagnetic storm. I'm going to share that tomorrow because I have 2 videos of the blinking lights. And Team Alaska, no, they haven't slowed down. It's just I've slowed down sharing them because a lot of people were like, I don't know, they weren't interested in the blinking lights, even though I, and probably you, know it's a sign of something bigger. And last night was more confirmation during the geomagnetic storm when this video was sent in by a person who couldn't help but notice the lights blinking unexplainably, rogue and random during the geomagnetic storm. Indiana, Izzy, that's what the sky looked like in Indiana. Are you serious right now? Just below the Great Lakes. Unbelievable. Story, Wyoming. Danny D sent in this photo. The reds and the greens dipping down low. Just an incredible light show that was seen all around most of the world. Table Rock, South Carolina. Ken, he sent in a photo of some beams that he saw in the south sky. Here's some more of those beams that were also seen in the south sky. What is going on? And when I saw those, I'm like, okay, I'm trying to rationalize this. You got to keep in mind, he's over there in South Carolina. That's why I pulled up the South Atlantic anomaly. Did this man and other people maybe in South Carolina or along the east coast of the United States, is this what they saw? I know this is below the equator, but you got to keep in mind the energy could have been coming in through the breach here. That's why he was seeing these beams from South Carolina in the southern sky, because he's right over here looking south. Look where he's looking at, directly towards the breach, the weak spot in the magnetic field. Just trying to connect the dots here, guys. It was highly unusual. He was very surprised to see auroras coming up from the south. That could explain why, that's all. Braham, Minnesota, Michelle Webster sent in some incredible photos of the sky, putting on an amazing light show. The lights were dancing in the sky all across Canada, all across the United States, across northern Mexico. I'm sure more people in Mexico saw the auroras. I did get a photo out of San Felipe, which is in the northern part of the Baja, down around, I want to say Rocky Point. I'm not 100% sure, but it's in the northern part of the Baja. These photos here are just stunning. Great photos coming out of Canada. Idaho here, windy out of McKay, Idaho. Got the greens and the reds and more greens closer to the ground. But yes, Team Alaska, I am still, not on a daily basis because I haven't been talking about them as much, but I'm still getting blinking lights. This has been going on now for a solid year. And what's interesting is I've never received a blinking light video until November of 2024. And now I'm getting them at least weekly. Jesse out of southern Minnesota. This is what the skies look like in southern Minnesota. Guys, I've got hundreds of photos. We're going to make up a special place for all these photos so that you can see them if you wish. Joseph Still out of St. Marie, Montana, the night watchman, caught this video of the lights dancing through the skies. above Montana. Very cool video there by Joseph, the night watchman. He's also got a front row seat to the auroras whenever they do occur. He sees a lot of interesting things up there in Montana. Santiago out of Taos, New Mexico. Yeah, our neighbor out here just to the east of Arizona. This is what they saw in the skies above New Mexico. So this was probably around the 34, 33 degree north latitude. The auroras were very loud. I mean, not literally, but they were unbelievable. You couldn't miss them unless, of course, you had cloud cover. And if you had cloud cover, then it was going to be kind of impossible to see. So I'm going to look in the chat just real quick here for a minute. Hey, Graham, what's up? Good to see you, man. You've seen those beams before. The only difference is you've seen them as white beams. That's true. Plasma protons and electrons, they very well could be, Graham. Pink Floyd, I think they're coming from this area right here, the magnetic anomaly. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. Why would that man see beams coming up from the South Atlantic? Probably because of the South Atlantic anomaly, I would assume. Did anybody else see auroras last night? If you did, leave the state that you saw them in. I'm assuming that they were seen in all 48 states in the upper 48 of the United States, including Alaska. I don't know about Puerto Rico. I don't think Puerto Rico saw auroras, but you know what? It would not surprise me if they did. There's another look at the South Atlantic anomaly right there on your screen. Crazy skies. Boy, they sure were. Foothills, all red. California, thank you. Some people had clouds. I know a lot of people had clouds. And some people just happened to see the video I did the day the cannibal CME was to arrive. And they stepped outside, because they were watching the video after dark. They stepped outside and looked up because it was clear in their location. I want to say Ohio, and saw the auroras. Texas saw them. Yay, Texas, right on. Oregon had too many clouds. Dang it. You know, some places did. There you go, northern Louisiana, thank you. I was wondering if people in Louisiana saw them because I got photos from Mississippi, and I got photos from Alabama, I got photos from Texas and Florida, so I figured people in Louisiana saw them as well. Thank you, the official Diamond Lou, appreciate that. What's going on, guys? Everybody having a good day today? Are your animals back to normal? I know a lot of people commented that their animals were barking. I'm talking about dogs. Cats were meowing unusually long for like an hour at a time. I'm going to be honest with you. I slept a lot. Heavier than I normally do. Had some, deep dreams. It's just how it affects me. No clouds, no lights. Thank Diamond Lou. Nothing near Chicago. But you know what? I got photos, John, out of Chicago. I think it probably depended on maybe where you were at, but I did get photos from the Chicago area, the northern Illinois area. Just had a 3.9 magnitude earthquake in Vallejo, California. Really nice. That's interesting. Thanks for sharing that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Okay, hold on. I got photos from, let's see. I did get photos from Chicago, a couple. Got photos from northern Illinois. They're in this folder. The folders are on my other desktop, but got 4 folders full. Light pollution in Niagara Falls. I know, that's kind of a bummer. And that was one of the things that we were dealing with, but you know what? I went ahead and put the camera up anyway into the northeastern sky. And that was away from the light pollution out here where we're at. And it worked. I mean, we actually got to see a little bit of something through the camera. And right here it is again for those of you that may have missed it. Arizona auroras from right out here in southeast Phoenix. Now keep in mind this is heavily juiced because looking up and to the left over here to the left, yes, there's an abundance of, I wouldn't say it's abundance, there's some. There's light pollution over here to the left, which would be to the north, slightly northwest. This is to the north, slightly northeast. And you could just barely see the green and red hue up in the sky, just barely. But through the camera, you could actually see it. And I'm at the 33 degree north latitude. Yeah, and it makes you wonder too, here it is, this is obviously heavily juiced, but I pulled forward the green and the light red. This was down here in Arizona, so the storms easily made it to Arizona. But again, like was just mentioned, the light pollution plays a factor. Obviously clouds. things like that. But boy, if you were out in the vast darkness somewhere, you could easily see the auroras during the incredible storm. And guys, there's going to be more on the way. We're currently almost about to enter a stream of high-speed solar wind. So we're going to go from one thing to another, going from high-speed streams, high-speed CMEs that were moving at over 1,000 kilometers per second. This is what we're staring at right now. This is occurring right now, literally as I do this video. A large coronal hole is facing the Earth. That is star power that's unchallenged. There's no atmosphere right there. There's a hole that's opened up. That energy, as you can see, if we can see it, it's coming towards the Earth in most cases. Is it 100% guaranteed? No. Things can change between the time it leaves the surface of the sun, and that's literally right there, the surface of the sun. The sun has many layers of atmosphere, coincidentally, just like the Earth. Many layers of atmosphere, but right here, they're gone. So that energy, like I said, leaves the surface of the sun unchallenged, and it's making a beeline towards the Earth. So this could be interesting in the next 48 hours. This could spawn yet another geomagnetic storm of some kind. We're looking at the coronal, the sunspot, which is right here. This is what started a lot of this energy and global, outbreaks of auroras right there. That sunspot has been a major force now for over 3 weeks. And it's getting ready to turn away from the Earth, but it's still facing the Earth. And even once it gets over here to the right a little farther, it will still be magnetically attached to the Earth until it's out of sight. So this big guy right here, we've still got at least 2, maybe 3 days worth of potential coming from that large sunspot and active region right there easily. And I don't see anything over here to the left. The sun turns this way, at least right now. So solar activity from that spot could trigger more activity, and the coronal hole that I just mentioned, that could easily trigger a geomagnetic storm. So it looks like that the solar maximum 2025 is starting to kick into high gear. And everybody's concerned about the magnetic field and the magnetic shields holding up. And as you can see right here, you're looking at the shields in action, and they did their job. They did what they were supposed to do. They funneled the energy from the center of the Earth to the north and to the south. Otherwise, this graph here would not show these bright colors up here in the upper latitudes of the Earth and the lower latitudes of the Earth. If we ever see bright red in the center, and that's a problem. As long as this energy is being funneled to the bulk of the energy, then the Earth the shields are doing their job. Okay, that's pretty basic. If it's ever completely consumed, then the instrument would probably just quit working. To be honest with you, that's what I would assume. It would probably just stop working. We've been seeing an influx of cosmic rays. This is the last 3 days worth of activity of cosmic rays. These blue ones here, the negative charge, and there's a negative positive charge going on here. You can see up above it, there was nothing that instigated the large influx. And over here to the right is a graph. 5% is that big. This is probably somewhere in the neighborhood of, 40%? I mean, that is huge. So a lot of cosmic ray activity. I mean, a lot. And not just one day, 3 days worth of cosmic ray activity. One time it overwhelmed the chart so much, it was on there for a week. An absolute straight up week. So monitoring the cosmic ray situation, obviously monitoring the decompression event going on right now, and it looks like the shields are going back into place. I'll show you guys again. This is over at the ISOA. This is our primary right here, and as you can see, it was definitely put to the test the last 48 hours, and it looks like to me right there it passed the test. Everything is still functioning properly. It was compressed by the arrival of the cannibal CME that was super dense. I mean, it was up above 50, I think between 50 and 60 with regard to density, and moving at over 1,000 kilometers per second. That is really, really moving. Just for comparison, the Carrington event of 1859, obviously there wasn't this type of equipment back then. but they monitored the situation and timed it from the time the solar flare erupted, and obviously through a CME towards the Earth. It arrived here at the Earth in less than 16 hours. So mathematically, that equated to over 5.6 million miles an hour. It was moving very, very fast. This one here was not in that type of caliber, that type of range. But we know the sun's at least capable of doing that, and I'm sure it can probably do much faster if it wanted to. But the Carrington event was over 5 million miles per hour, and it did a number on telegraphs back then. I can't imagine what a Carrington event would do to modern day equipment. Once again, here's another look at the Ovation Prime as the skies were lighting up. This is what the Ovation Prime looked like. You can see the energy was wide and it was loud and proud. Millions of pictures taken by people all around the world. And I, once again, received hundreds of photos from people all across the country. What's going on, Graham? I'm thinking the solar storms contain pretty positively charged particles. It reacts differently with our shield compared to negatively. Does the angle... the angle makes a difference. Yes, absolutely, Graham. All those are very valid points that are true. Yes, they do come in at different angles. Like this coronal hole, for instance, it's above the equator. So the only thing about a coronal hole being that far above the equator, there's a chance that energy could go north of the Earth. It's the equatorial coronal holes that are usually 99% guaranteed they're going to come towards the Earth. But being that this one is just a little bit north of the equator, I wouldn't be surprised, even though it's a very dark core, it may go north of the planet. So that's why I haven't put a whole lot of stock in this just yet. I'm waiting to see if it grows over the next 24 hours. If it gets a little bit bigger and extends a little closer to the equator, then yes, it's on. But right now, it's about 10 degrees, maybe 12 degrees above the equator. That's going to change the angle of the energy, as Graham mentioned. Yes, sir. Good observation, Graham. All right. Watching from Southern Australia. Allie, thanks for sharing that. Did you guys see any... hey, there's Polenta. What's up, Polenta? Been a Star Family member for a long time. Thank you, Polenta. You're welcome. I try my best. Polenta's been a Star Family member and a big fan member for a long, long time. Polenta, did you happen to see auroras over there in California? Or was it too cloudy? I know you guys have been getting rain off and on over there along the West Coast, even up into Oregon and places like that. In fact, we're supposed to get rain over here in Arizona, I believe, starting on Saturday, and possibly rain the biggest part of next week every day. Unbelievable. Southward IMF angle, that opens up the doors. When we have a south IMF, solar wind is free to come right on in, and that creates a geomagnetic storm, not some of the time, every time. Right now, the IMF is pointing north, and I'll show you where it's pointing north over here at spaceweather.com. This is the IMF right here. It's called the Interplanetary Magnetic Field. The BZ is north right now. If that were to tilt south, then you've got a geomagnetic storm of some degree underway. So right now it's to the north, but even during a strong geomagnetic storm, when the BZ's north, you're still going to have auroras. That's been an ongoing proton storm for over, I believe, 36 hours. You can see it's starting to subside right now, but that was a big storm. It really was. Polenta, yes, I did, way up high in the sky. Oh, cool. Good for you, Polenta. I'm glad you got to see them. I know you're a sky lover. Polenta loves the sky. All of us over here love the sky and the activity in the skies. We are definitely avid sky watchers, no doubt about it. That's right, Team Alaska. Two solar storms with the same strength can have totally different effects. It's all about the polarity and the angle. You're right there, Team Alaska, and the density. Don't forget the density. Hey, Tim Huntley. Thank you, Tim Huntley. I got your photos, my man. Your photos are coming up. In fact, I think I used some of yours today, Mr. Tim. Let me look and see. I've got it playing right now. Let's see, Daniel, Mia, I've got them in here, Tim. I think I've got them for tomorrow's video. Your photos are awesome too. Everybody's photos are so cool. I've got so many, it would take me a week to show them all. So what I'm doing is showing a few each video. So Tim's, I've got yours scheduled for tomorrow, but I'm definitely going to show them. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Joseph Steele, I got photos from all across the country. I've never received this many photos during a geomagnetic storm of any kind. I guess last night the conditions were, and the night before, were more than favorable. They even saw auroras last night up in Canada. We didn't see as many down here in the U.S., but they saw them up in Canada, Manitoba, Saskatchewan. Thumbs up there, Mr. Tim Huntley. Thank you for the super chat. That's very kind. Hey, Graham. Oh, talking about 3i Atlas. Yes, I've got some updates on 3i Atlas, and that's going to be in tomorrow's video. We're going to talk about 3i Atlas. Bonnie Myers, Arizona. We only wish. Arizona. Well, it's nice out here when it's not summertime. Bonnie, the summers are, woo. I mean, if you can handle the 110s, 115s, triple digits for 3 months, you'll be doing good. But man, some people go up. You have people that come down to Arizona from the northern states during the winter, and you have people that live in Arizona that go up into the mountains during summer to get away from the heat. Woo, them 110s, I'm telling you, they are something to, oh wow, they're unbelievable. Flint, Michigan here. Tina, did you guys see auroras up in Flint? I'm sure you did if it wasn't cloudy. Let's go back to the photos. This photo here was out of New Mexico, I believe. I've got I got 4 folders of photos. Just shocking amount of photos. This is the most I've ever gotten at one time like this. They just came in droves, and I just happened to be checking the email as the geomagnetic storm started, and our cellular service quit. Did anybody else's cellular service go down? Wow, I know ours did. Right during, as the geomagnetic storm started, our cellular service went down. It just stopped. Tina, you did not. Okay, thanks for sharing, Tina. Yeah, here's what she was describing as a dove in the sky by Donna above Montana. Mia out of Maryland. And guys, I've got so many photos. Like I said, what I'm going to do is create just a big forum for all these photos because there's so many. There's literally hundreds. There's hundreds. It would take me 3 hours, if not more, to do a live stream of just photos. It really would. You guys were wide awake and on the ball. This storm, a lot of people got to enjoy it. That's what's cool. I like to see that. I really do. That's cool. All right. Oh, no, in AZ. We couldn't see him in the sky per se, but I could see him through the camera. I'll show him again here in case you guys missed it. Here's what they were just very, very faint, but the camera pulled them forward. This is a video I took of the northeastern sky. Looking at the sky, you could just barely see what looked like just a vapor, a green, very, very, very light green, red vapor high up in the sky. But it seriously wasn't noticeable because we had light pollution over here to the left. But once I took the video inside, and you could see it in the camera. Oh, absolutely you could. You could see the activity through the camera. And then once I brought it inside, and I did amplify the color just a little bit, amplified it a lot right there. But it was there. That's not a typical night out here in Arizona. The skies aren't hiding that green up there like that, but it was definitely there. So they were all the way down in here to central Arizona. In fact, they went all the way down to the 31-degree north latitude in San Felipe, Mexico. Yep. That's the part of the south that I heard, Graham. Yeah, hit that like button, guys. We need all the likes you can throw this way because that pushes the video out there farther and more people will see these amazing auroras that didn't get to see them, that may have had clouds or for whatever reason. Light pollution can interfere with the viewing of the auroras. So hit the like button, totally free, and it'll share the video with more people that can experience these really cool photos. And again, guys, if you don't see your photos in here, just know I'm working on them and I will share every single one that you guys send in. I'm still working on email. I went through a lot of email today and Dropbox Started in the Dropbox, went over to the email, and there's more coming in today. So that's great, you know, keep them coming. I don't mind at all. It's just a lot of work though. It really is. It's more than you think to, you know, get everybody's proper name on there and location, because I want to give you guys credit. You know, you sent the photos in, so I want to make sure that people know where they came from and who sent them, you know. So Tim Huntley, I got yours queued up for tomorrow. Who else have I got? Greg and Donna. There's Santiago right there from New Mexico. Taos, New Mexico. All 48 states in the U.S., all the provinces up in Canada, or most, I'm sure everybody saw them up in all the provinces, but I got photos from British Columbia, I got photos from Manitoba and Saskatchewan, and over in Nova Scotia. So all across Canada. Yeah, it's an unbelievably strong event. Polenta, we have a massive rainstorm. Yeah, I know, Polenta. That rain is supposed to come to Arizona as well. We're going to get rain from that storm that you guys are dealing with right now. I'm checking on this earthquake real quick, guys. I've been hustling these auroras, and I've been following the swarm over there in California. There it is, Vallejo, California, 3.5, 6.1 miles deep. And that is... yeah, that's up by the swarm, yeah, that I've been following, or in the general vicinity. Well, that's right next to Sonora Boulevard. Are you serious? Right behind a school? Whoa, talking about earthquakes in diverse places. There's a swarm just to the north of there, up near Clear Lake. Been following that. Wow. That is a rogue and random earthquake if I ever saw one. Wow. Taos had great snow for skiing. I remember you said we were going to do special videos, one on the moon, one on the Bermuda Triangle. I'm still working on that, Graham. You betcha. You bet I am, and we're going to do that. Absolutely we will. Had a lot going on here in the last, couple of months. Have a new family member. Yeah, we have a new addition to the family. My daughter had a baby, so got a new family member. Yeah, so I had a lot going on. That's kind of cool, right? South Dakota. Did you guys see the auroras up in South Dakota, Catherine? And I got photos and or videos from pretty much every single state. A lot from Missouri. Missouri must have had perfect conditions for auroras, because I got a lot of photos from Missouri. Very good ones to be, in fact, very, very good ones. And Central Alabama, a gentleman down there by the name of Reed, Central Mississippi. He was just really having a good time filming the auroras in Clinton, Mississippi. Yep. What's up, David Lipka? Yay! Thank you, David, for becoming a big fan. Thank you guys for the super chats and the fans and the star members. I really appreciate all that. Thank you, Paletta. Yeah, my daughter just had a baby girl. Yeah, baby girl. She's really, really cute. Cute as a bug's ear, they say. She really is. I don't think I've ever seen a baby that wasn't cute, but she's just extra cute. Call her a little sack of taters, you know what I mean? She's cute. Yep, her name is Sophia. Can't wait, because I have a great idea on what is the Bermuda Triangle. Ah, great. Thank you, Graham. Appreciate that. That's very kind. I know, right? There's a lot of theories around the Bermuda Triangle and the history behind the Bermuda Triangle and what's happened out there. In fact, I'm excited to do some more research. I've researched it before. I have a theory too, but that theory might change because it's been many, many years since I've done research on the Bermuda Triangle. But I think I have an idea of which direction you're leaning, probably the same one as mine. But we're going to talk about that, and we'll save it for the video. Well, listen, guys, I'm going to hop off here. I wanted to make sure I shared some more of these spectacular photos with me. Got more to share tomorrow. You guys have no idea how many photos I've got. It is quite astonishing. And it's an honor. It's a true pleasure to get to view these photos from all across the country and various places around the world. because we didn't really get to see them out here in Arizona. We could see signs of the aurora, but we didn't get to see them like people up in Canada and Minnesota, Missouri. They had quite a show. Mississippi, just incredible. So once again, guys, the decompression event is underway. The shields are trying to get themselves back organized in order. As you can see over here, this is what's called a compression event right there. Did you see how the magnetic shield was compressed? Right now it's decompressing as that strong cloud of right there is totally compressed in. It's very discombobulated for a while. Now it's regaining its momentum, its strength, and it's getting more back into a big curve is what you see. And that's what greets the solar wind right there. Right there you can see it's compressed all the way down inside. These are satellite orbits right here. That line you see right there, that's the orbit of satellites. So this shield right there was pushed inside, right there, the orbit of satellites. That is a big deal. It really is. That's a big deal. And that was a G4, okay? Can you imagine what a Carrington event, a G5 would do? Wow. Hopefully we won't see that, but the sun is obviously capable of doing such a thing. So hopefully we won't see that, but we're as prepared as we can be just in case. Thank you, Graham. I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody's comments and likes. Means a lot. It really does. And Graham, I always like your input. You're a very smart man. Thanks for stopping by. Listen, guys, I got to hop off here. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you guys this Thursday afternoon. We'll do it again tomorrow. I may do a video tomorrow, but either way, I'm going to share more of these really cool pictures and have some more interesting topics to talk about. Thank you, Polenta. Thank you, Graham. Thank you, everybody. Rizar, S. Lee, Gina, Daniel. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Thanks for watching. Have a super day. Enjoy the rest of your day and be safe out there.